You're watching Buzz with Jess Lujan.
GHURA is our topic tonight, and I have the director of GHURA, Mike Duenas, in studio with me this evening. Mike, we're talking about the housing inventory, and let's can we explain to our viewers out there the difference between public housing and Section 8?
Sure. Under public housing, GHURA is the landlord. We own 750 housing units.
Okay.
Under Section 8, we provide rental assistance to the families, and they go and rent from a private landlord.
Okay. Okay.
That's the basic difference. Is it's ownership.
So they seek it out basically. I mean, are there any standards that say I'm a homeowner, I want to rent out my house? Does the homeowner have to meet certain federal guidelines, federal requirements for you to be able to pay me as a homeowner? And so,
sure. We have housing standards. We inspect the house to ensure that it's safe, and we look at things like the status or the condition of the electrical outlets, the lights. We look at the plumbing fixtures, make sure the doors and the windows are in good operating order. We also look at whether there is an alternate way out of a bedroom. Say there's you have you can go out the door as usual, but the window is another alternate escape route that we see that.
Now how about, you know, again, to prepare for the elements like typhoons and all that? I mean, does the homeowner have to have shutters, be able to have that available for the renter, again, during typhoons? Or how is that? I mean, if the homeowner, if I'm a homeowner, you're renting from me, you're a Section 8 renter, you come to my house, there's a storm, things happen to the house, GHURA doesn't take any responsibility, right? That's
correct. We don't own the house. Our role basically is to provide subsidy to the family, so they can move into the house and rent in the community. Yeah. Storm shutters are an amenity that we encourage families to look for. Yeah. We're basically looking to ensure that the house is safe and it's in sanitary condition.
Oh, okay. Now the difference is now basically people will qualify based on income and the size of their family, right?
That's correct.
How many bread earners basically in the family. Now is Section 8 versus public housing. Are some people staying in public housing that are totally rent-free, that are totally subsidized by the federal government? Likewise in Section 8, how does that work out?
The family share of the rent is based on their income. Some families without any income basically will be given an assistance, some funds to help pay for the utilities. It's called a utility reimbursement. Okay. But we also screen the families carefully to ensure that when they say they have no income, they truly have no income. Yeah. So we look at things: are you receiving welfare? Are you
child support?
Child support. And we also have the ability to enter into a federal database that lets us know if they are receiving income. You know, as when we have a job, we have Social Security and Medicare payments withheld from our taxes, our salary. So we research that database, and that's another way of verifying that they truly have no employment.
Now, you know, we often hear this. Now, if you can debunk this, it'd be great to be able to do that. Is that you know, public housing Section 8 are safety nets for a lot of people. That you get them until they're able to get on their feet and be able to support them wholeheartedly and things like that. But it is often said that once people get into a public housing or Section 8, you breed into the system. Basically, it's like an entitlement that, you know, that therefore their kids will be entitled to that particular dwelling as well. I mean, is there a period Is there a 5-year maximum period? And who do you give that to? If it's an elderly that really can't go out and get a job anymore, or someone who is physically or mentally challenged that qualifies for GHURA, we understand they probably won't be able to seek employment and better their economic situation. But the ones who do, is there a time limit?
Yeah, most people remember that when they did some of the welfare reforms back in the
welfare
Clinton, back in the Clinton administration, they put time limits on TANF. That's why it was called Temporary Assistance to Needy Families. But HUD argued with Congress that the need for shelter, the need for housing is so basic that we should not place time limits on that. And so what HUD proposed instead was to develop a series of programs to encourage families to improve their, to become economically self-sufficient, to pursue training or other education that would enhance their value in the labor market. Under the Section 8 program, we have a family self-sufficiency program with about 150 families enrolled, and those families are working towards an individual development plan that will get them into the labor market and earn an income that will eventually allow them to rent out in the private sector or buy a house.
And that's why the governor is very aggressive in low-income housing, to be able to transition for either a first-time buyer or someone transitioning out of maybe a public assistance program to try to get to be able to rent. And so there is a mechanism now to get it. Yeah.
And we need to do that because with the economy basically being stagnant for over the last 10 years, there really have not been a lot of opportunities for these families to find jobs, and they get discouraged. But I think the tone that the governor is setting is basically, let's raise our expectations. Let's look at building these houses and making the houses available for our affordable housing available for our low-income families. That's what we're working on. But we're also looking at, we need to get the families ready so that they can either move in and rent without any subsidy or be in a position to purchase.
There we go. Hey, Mike, when we come back, let's talk about senior citizens' homes and the need for more of maybe assisted and unassisted living, okay? We'll be right back.